Hello, welcome to what I consider to be the most fun bit of looking at the London Naval Conference and Treaty of 1930. What if they fail to make any sort of agreement? So I've been working on this with Alex Clarke. I would highly recommend you go and find him on YouTube, on Twitter as @AC_Naval History. He podcasts the bilge pumps via SimSec, which you can find at the podcast provider of your choice, or on Apple if you're part of the iCult. He's got a Discord that's very friendly, and he does Patreon. So to briefly run through what the rules of this game are, the powers that signed the London Naval Conference in 1930 are still bound by the Washington Naval Treaty of 1922-23. So capital ships are still limited. There's a replacement schedule that's set out and not changing. Aircraft carriers over 10,000 standard tons displacement are still limited. Non-capital ships are still capped at 10,000 tons standard displacement and 8-inch guns, and this all expires on the 1st of January 1937. And that includes building anything that's going to breach those, at least if you declare it's going to. You're not allowed to even start doing that. You're not allowed to build for a client. That bit they got sewn up. So what you can do, build basically anything under 10,000 tons or 8-inch guns, but you could have 1,000,000 8-inch guns if you wanted. 1,000,000 8-inch guns would weigh quite a lot and need a lot of people to serve them. I don't recommend that. The other thing is that what happened in real life was you had an extension of the holiday on building replacement capital ships. That went away. That had been for 10 years from the previous cruiser, so from the previous treaty, so that will now start. You won't now get that lovely light cruiser, heavy cruiser split that we got in real life that, led to so much fun. The other thing is destroyers, submarines and things, totally unrestricted, just absolutely nothing about them in any of this. So the first thing is, what do I think's likely to change? What do I think's not so likely to change? So first of all, the things that won't change are Royal Navy broadly, or at least initially, Royal Navy's destroyers, submarines, aircraft carriers, and the US Navy's destroyers and submarines. The reason for that, the 1930 London Naval Treaty was basically written around their specifications and where they were at that point, and it was really to freeze the Imperial Japanese Navy from catching up, overtaking them, achieving significant dominance in those areas. I don't really see the French and Italians, the Marine Nationale and the Regia Marina, changing. The real reason is neither of them was really looking at capital ships. The French were crippled by massive production backlogs, let alone finances, but we'll get onto that. And so we're just very behind with building what they wanted to build for their primarily Mediterranean theatre and for the countering of the German Deutschland class heavy cruisers or Panzerschiff, which had come as a bit of a nasty surprise to them in terms of turning up with the build starting in 1929, and so needing countering. So that was kind of distracting them, but they were able to do that within the treaty limits. The Regia Marina, in a lot of ways, they're in the same position as the French. They are happily building the kind of stuff that works for them anyway. They've pretty much given up on capital ships. They don't even try and build an aircraft carrier. Italy doesn't commission its first aircraft carrier until I think it was sometime after I was born. And really, the Regia Marina are primarily concerned with keeping up with les jeunes, i.e. the French. So they're happy. Then you've got the what changes. Now, I think pretty much everything changes for the Imperial Japanese Navy. They are just blocked at every turn with the treaty. Why they signed it, I don't know. Never mind. Royal Navy cruisers, well, they are going to change because the concept behind the Leander class isn't going to work. So basically, it's bye-bye Leander, hello, Surrey, you gorgeous, much delayed 4th generation county class. I'm in no way biased because I now live in Surrey, but it would be nice to have a ship named Surrey. I also live in London, and we already have a London. London being complicated in that it's both a town, city, and county for some of these purposes. It gets very complicated. The US Navy, really, I just see them changing their cruisers to basically say, New Orleans class, yeah, you remember what we did with those 4 stackers, where we just built them like there's no tomorrow? The production line of just creating crazy numbers? Yeah, let's do that, except at about 10,000 tons and with 8-inch guns. Yeah. I think they're a pretty ideal or perfect treaty max cruiser, to be perfectly honest. Why change what's working? And use that industrial might. The fact that the Americans have managed to get a triple 8-inch turret working is fab. The Royal Navy never did that and would take some time to get triple turrets working. The triple turrets on the Nelson class took a long time in service to get working satisfactorily. They are not easy for complicated reasons I don't entirely understand, because I'm neither a proper historian nor an engineer to have actually gone through it. American aircraft carriers, essentially, I can see them countering what the Japanese are going to do, which is explore the idea of less than 10,000 ton displacement little light aircraft carriers. And I just wanted to throw in a joke in my slide about the different spellings of armour, because geek.